The climate of a place is determined mainly by its latitude, altitude, position with respect to mountains, distance from the sea, and by winds. The climate of a country plays a major role in shaping the lives of its people. It determines the crops they grow, the clothes they wear, and even many of their festivals. The factors which affects the climatic condition of India are latitude, altitude, pressure and wind system, distance from the sea, ocean currents, relief features like the position of the mountains. Let's begin our discussion with latitude. If we look to the map of the world or globe, we can see Tropic of Cancer passes through India at 23 degree 5 minutes north, and below India we can see the equator, which divides the globe or planet Earth in two equal halves. Thus, the area between Tropic of Cancer and equator is torrid zone, which has high temperature throughout the year as the sun rays falls directly in this region. India has subtropical region, or we can say temperate zone, above Tropic of Cancer and tropical region below Tropic of Cancer. Here, subtropical region or temperate zone experiences extreme climate as it is far away from the equator, whereas tropical region in India experiences high temperature throughout the year. Thus, this latitude or Tropic of Cancer affects the climate of India. The states from where Tropic of Cancer passes are Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Bengal, Tripura, and Mizoram. Therefore, the temperature is generally high throughout the country. In this way, latitude affects the climate of India. The second factor that affects the climatic condition of India is altitude. Before discussing it, let me ask you one question, that why hilly areas are colder than plains? The answer of this question is that near the equator temperature is high, that is very hot, as it is a torrid zone area. But the temperature decreases when we move towards the poles, that is towards the frigid zone. Now let me explain you why this happen. As sun is the source of heat for planet Earth, and the temperature of the sun is very high. Thus, this high temperature produces short waves, which has high energy, and the atmosphere of the earth is not capable to capture this high energy. Therefore, these short waves crosses the atmosphere, and on striking with the earth's surface, these high energy short waves get absorbed by the land surface. Thus, the surface of the earth gets heated. After heating, the earth releases long waves, and these long waves do not have much energy in them. Thus, these long waves are absorbed by the atmosphere, or we can say that atmosphere do not get heated directly from the sun. Atmosphere gets heated from the earth. Thus, as we move towards the height or mountain areas, the temperature decreases. As we go higher above the sea level, there is decrease in temperature, that is about 1 degree Celsius at every 165 meter. So, as we move from the surface of the earth to the higher altitude, the temperature decreases. Thus, altitude influences the climate of a place. The best example of high altitude is Ooty, as it lies in the torrid zone, but it is at the high altitude, thus it is cooler than the plains. So viewers, with this explanation we are now clear that sun heats up the land surface. Due to this, the wind near to the land surface is of low pressure and the wind above the land surface is of high pressure. Thus, whenever there is a difference in atmospheric pressure between two regions, air moves from the region of high pressure to the region of lower pressure. This movement of air is called wind. In the given diagram, you can see that from the month of April to October, when the weather is warm and wet as well as cloudy and rainy, land surface has low pressure of air. That's why it rises up towards the high pressure. Whereas from the month of October to April, when the weather is cold and dry as well as bright and sunny, during that time high pressure descends down towards the land surface. Now let's see how distance from the sea affects the climatic condition of India. India is a peninsula with a long coastline but mostly falls in the torrid zone. The seas like Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea have a moderating effect on the temperature in the coastal areas. In these areas, the climate remains almost same throughout the year because of the cool winds blowing from the sea. Therefore, the climate of this area is known as equable climate. Places which are far away from the sea experiences extreme climate, that is very hot in summers and very cold in winters. The Himalayas play a very important role in influencing the climate of India. India is a monsoon land only because of the presence of Himalayas. It traps the monsoon winds from Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal and forces them to shed their moisture content within the Indian subcontinent in the form of snow and rain. The northern India, though falling in the temperate zone, enjoys rather hot climate due to the presence of the Himalayas. The Himalayas act as a barrier against the cold winds blowing from the Arctic region, or we can say that lofty Himalayas stand as a barrier against the cold winds from the northern Asia.